All right, are you ready to dive into a world of some seriously strange creatures? We're talking animals with abilities that sound like they're straight out of science fiction.
Evolution has really outdone itself with some of these adaptations.
Yeah, it's like Mother Nature decided to have a little fun.
Eh?
So we've got some amazing sources lined up about creatures that are just out of this world. Think you're ready for this?
Absolutely, I'm all ears.
Great. So first up is a creature that packs a punch that you wouldn't believe the pistol shrimp. Like, I've heard they can create a sound louder than a gunshot just by snapping their claws. Could that be true?
Oh, it's definitely true. These little guys have one claw that's way bigger than the other, and they use it to create a shock wave. It can stun their prey or even kill it. It's all because of something called cavitation.
Cavitation. Um, that sounds kind of complicated. What's going on there?
Well, you see, the shrimp snaps its claws so fast that it creates a tiny bubble in the water, like a vacuum almost. And that bubble collapses, but when it does, it generates a shock wave and a flash of light that's so hot, it's crazy.
So it's not just a snap. It's like a tiny explosion underwater.
Right. And you wouldn't believe how powerful it is for such a small creature.
It's mind-blowing. So what's the evolutionary advantage of having a sonic weapon like that?
Well, it's all about survival. The pistol shrimp uses that shock wave to hunt in coral reefs. You know, those places are packed with other creatures, so it's a tough place to find a meal.
It's like having a built-in stun gun. Pretty effective, I'd say. Okay, so we've got a shrimp with a sonic boom, but what about supervision? I hear the mantis shrimp have eyesight that's off the charts.
You're telling me we humans have three types of color receptors in our eyes, but the mantis shrimp, they have somewhere between 12 and 16. Can you imagine?
Whoa, that's wild. They must see the world in a way we can't even begin to understand. But I've also heard they can pack a punch too, right?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Their appendages are incredibly powerful, and they strike with unbelievable speed. It's so fast that they create cavitation bubbles too, just like the pistol shrimp. In fact, they can even break aquarium glass.
Seriously, I wouldn't want to mess with one of those. But all that power, how does it help them survive in their environment?
Well, think about where they live, coral reefs. It's a beautiful but tough place to live. Their powerful punches let them crack open shells to get to their food. And their amazing vision helps them navigate that complex environment, find prey, and avoid becoming someone else's dinner.
Wow, it all makes sense when you think about it that way. So we've got supervision, super strength. Now let's talk about the honey badger.
Yeah.
These guys are practically legendary for their fearlessness. What's their secret?
Well, they have some incredible physical adaptations that help them out. First of all, their skin is unbelievably thick, like you can barely hurt them.
Yeah.
And it's loose too, so if a predator grabs them, they can just wriggle free.
They said they're wearing armor.
Right. And that's not all. They're also resistant to venom, so even venomous snakes don't scare them.
So they're like a walking tank with a built-in venom antidote. No wonder nothing scares them. Have you ever seen one in action?
I have, and it's something else. They're so tenacious, they'll take on much larger animals without a second thought, like lions.
You've got to admire that kind of bravery. Okay, from super strength and toughness, let's switch gears to something, well, a little less intimidating. The blobfish. Some people call it the ugliest animal in the world, but there's got to be more to it than that, right?
Oh, for sure. That ugly appearance. It's actually a perfect adaptation for their deep sea home. Down there, the pressure is immense. And unlike other fish, blobfish don't have a swim bladder, you know, that gas-filled sac that helps most fish control their buoyancy.
Oh, right.
Instead, their bodies are made of this gelatinous substance that's just slightly less dense than water.
So they basically just float around effortlessly.
Hmm.
Makes sense, but why do they look like that?
Well, that gelatinous body is perfectly suited for the crushing pressure of the deep sea. It helps them conserve energy and avoid being crushed. And, you know, there's not much light down there, so looks aren't really that important.
True, true. It's a good reminder that weird is relative to where you live, right? What we might find strange is perfectly normal in the deep sea. Okay, from the deep sea to a creature that seems to defy aging, the axolotl.
Ah, yes. Axolotls are fascinating. They stay in their larval form their entire lives. They keep their feathery gills and never fully develop into adults like other salamanders.
So they're like the Peter Pans of the salamander world, forever young. But it's not just about staying cute, right? They also have these amazing regenerative abilities.
You're right. They can regrow limbs, their tails, even parts of their heart and brain.
Sure.
Scientists are studying them to try to understand how they do it.
That's incredible. Imagine the possibilities for human medicine if we could figure out how to regenerate like that.
Exactly. It's mind-blowing. Axolotls might be the key to treating spinal cord injuries, limb loss, all sorts of things.
So not only are they fascinating, but they could also revolutionize medicine. It's a good reminder that we can learn so much from nature.
Absolutely. You never know where the next big discovery will come from. Sometimes it's from the most unexpected places.
Okay, from regeneration to, well, patience. Have you ever heard of the shoebill?
Oh, the shoebill. Their appearance is something else, and their hunting technique is just as intriguing.
That beak. It's enormous, like something out of prehistoric times. How do they even use it?
Well, they're ambush predators. They live in marshy areas and eat things like fish and frogs.
Mhm.
And that massive beak, it's their secret weapon. They'll stand perfectly still for hours sometimes, waiting for their prey to come close.
Wow, talk about patience. But how do they blend in with that giant beak?
They use their stillness and coloration. They blend in with the reeds and grasses, and they often tuck their heads in close to their bodies, making that beak less obvious. And when the moment is right, they strike with incredible speed and precision.
It's like a living statue coming to life. Unbelievable.
It really shows you the diversity of hunting strategies in the animal kingdom. Each species has its own unique way of surviving.
Okay, from the stillness of the shoebill, let's move on to a creature known for its epic migrations and its very unique nose. The saiga antelope.
Ah, yes, the saiga antelope. That nose is hard to miss. It looks a little funny, but it actually has some important functions.
So it's not just for looks.
Not at all. They live in harsh environments in Central Asia, and that nose helps them adapt. In the summer, it filters out dust and dirt during those long migrations, and in the winter, it warms up the frigid air before it reaches their lungs.
It's like Mother Nature's own air conditioner and air filter. Speaking of extreme conditions, let's talk about a creature that's practically indestructible, the tardigrade.
Ah, yes, the tardigrade. They're also known as water bears or moss piglets. These microscopic creatures are known for their incredible resilience. They can survive extreme temperatures, radiation, dehydration, even the vacuum of space.
Wait, space? Seriously, how is that even possible?
They can enter a state of suspended animation called cryptobiosis. They basically shut down their metabolism and can survive in incredibly harsh conditions for years, even decades, until conditions improve.
So they're like tiny little superheroes. They can withstand anything. What can we learn from a creature like that?
Studying tardigrades could help us figure out how to protect cells and tissues from damage, which could be incredibly useful in medicine and space exploration.
That's mind-boggling. It makes you realize how much potential there is in nature for discoveries that can benefit humanity. Speaking of secrets, let's move on to a creature that seems to have unlocked the secret to a long and healthy life. The naked mole rat.
Ah, yes. Naked mole rats are truly fascinating creatures. They live underground in colonies, and they have a number of remarkable traits.
Well, they're not exactly the cutest creatures, but they clearly have something figured out, right? I mean, they live much longer than other rodents, don't they?
Oh, absolutely. While a typical rat might live for 2 or 3 years, a naked mole rat can live for over 30, and they stay healthy and strong for most of their lives. They rarely get cancer, and they don't seem to age the way other mammals do.
It's incredible. They're like the Methuselahs of the rodent world. Are scientists studying them to understand how they do it?
Of course. Scientists are very interested in understanding how they achieve such longevity and avoid age-related diseases. They could hold the key to extending human lifespans and improving health as we age.
It's amazing to think that these strange little creatures could help us unlock the secrets of aging. Well, we've covered a lot of ground already, and my mind is officially blown. But we have to talk about one more creature before we take a break. A creature that seems to defy one of the fundamental laws of nature. The immortal jellyfish.
Ah, yes, the creature that seems to have found a way to cheat death. The immortal jellyfish is a true marvel.
Okay, I have to ask, how could a jellyfish be immortal? I mean, everything dies eventually, right?
Well, the immortal jellyfish doesn't exactly live forever in the traditional sense, but when they get stressed or injured, they can revert back to their polyp stage, essentially becoming young again.
Wait, so they hit the rewind button on their life. How's that even possible?
Through a process called transdifferentiation, they can transform their cells back to an earlier stage of development. They basically restart their life cycle.
That's unbelievable. Imagine if we could figure out how to do that. It raises so many questions about aging and the very nature of life itself.
Indeed. The immortal jellyfish challenges our understanding of what's possible in the animal kingdom. And who knows? Maybe it holds clues to unlocking cellular regeneration, not just for jellyfish, but for us humans someday.
That's definitely something to think about. Well, I think we all need a break after that mind-blowing journey, but we're not done yet. Stay tuned for part 2 of our deep dive, where we'll explore even more amazing creatures. Welcome back. I don't know about you, but I'm still reeling from all those amazing creatures we talked about. There's so much weirdness and wonder out there in the animal kingdom.
It really makes you appreciate the power of evolution, doesn't it? The way life finds a way to thrive in every corner of the planet.
It's mind-boggling. So what's next on our crazy critter list?
Well, how about we head to the ocean depths and meet a creature that's known as the most venomous fish in the world, the stonefish.
Stonefish, yeah, I've heard of those. Aren't they the ones that camouflage themselves to look like rocks?
That's right. They're ambush predators, and they're masters of disguise. They lie perfectly still on the seafloor, blending in with their surroundings, waiting for some unsuspecting prey to come along.
Sounds pretty terrifying. Imagine accidentally stepping on one while diving.
Yikes. Yeah, their venom is incredibly dangerous. It's a potent neurotoxin that can cause excruciating pain, paralysis, and even death in humans.
Definitely good reason to be careful where you step. Okay, so from the venomous depths, let's climb up into the rainforest canopy and meet a creature known for its, well, its rather prominent nose. The proboscis monkey.
Ah, the proboscis monkey. Those big noses, especially on the males, are definitely hard to miss.
They almost look comical, but I'm guessing that nose serves a purpose beyond just looking unique.
You bet. It's thought that the large nose helps amplify their calls, allowing them to communicate over longer distances in the dense rainforest. It might also be a factor in attracting mates, with females preferring males with larger noses.
It's like a built-in megaphone for their love songs. I've also heard they're incredible jumpers, is that right?
Absolutely. They can leap over 30 feet from tree to tree. Their long limbs and partially webbed feet help them move through the rainforest canopy with amazing agility.
They make it look so easy. Okay, from a primate that swings through the trees to a lizard that can practically walk on water. I'm talking about the basilisk lizard, of course.
The basilisk lizard, also known as the Jesus Christ lizard.
Because they can run on water. Seriously, how is that even possible? It sounds like something out of a myth.
It's all about physics and some very clever adaptations. Their hind feet are large, and they have fringes of skin along their toes that spread out when they slap the water. It creates air pockets that give them enough lift to propel themselves forward.
So it's not magic, it's science. What's the evolutionary advantage of running on water?
It's a fantastic escape tactic. They live near water, and when they're threatened, they just run across the surface to safety.
It's like having a superpower. Okay, from a water-walking lizard to a creature that lays eggs, has spines, and a long, sticky tongue. The echidna, what's the deal with this unusual animal?
The echidna is one of only 2 egg-laying mammals in the world, the other being the platypus. They're covered in spines for protection, kind of like a hedgehog.
So they've got built-in armor. What about that sticky tongue? What do they eat?
Ants and termites, mostly. They use that long, sticky tongue to lap them up. Did you know their tongues can protrude up to 10 inches?
10 inches. That's longer than their body. And I heard they have some pretty strange mating rituals, too. Something about trains of males following a female.
That's right. During mating season, you might see a female echidna with a long line of suitors trailing behind her, all vying for her attention.
It sounds like a scene from a nature documentary. Okay.
Yeah.
From a spiky, egg-laying mammal to a creature that's a master of disguise, the panther chameleon.
Ah, panther chameleons,
Yeah.
known for their vibrant colors and their incredible ability to change their skin color to match their surroundings.
I've seen videos of them doing it, and it's mesmerizing. How do they do that?
They have specialized cells in their skin called chromatophores, which contain different pigments. By controlling how these pigments are distributed, they can create an amazing range of colors and patterns.
So it's like they have a built-in paint palette. But I've also heard that they have amazing eyesight, too, right? Something about moving their eyes independently.
That's right. Their eyes can swivel independently, giving them almost 360-degree vision. They can scan their surroundings for prey and predators at the same time.
Talk about having eyes in the back of your head.
Okay.
Let's leave the colorful world of the chameleon and dive back into the deep sea. We've got to meet the anglerfish. You know, the one with the built-in fishing lure?
Ah, yes, the anglerfish. They live in the deepest, darkest parts of the ocean, and they've developed a very unique way of attracting prey.
So how does it work?
They have a modified spine that sticks out from their heads, and at the tip, there's this fleshy growth that contains bioluminescent bacteria.
Bioluminescent, so it glows.
Exactly. The bacteria emit light, which attracts fish and other creatures right into the anglerfish's waiting jaws.
It's like having a personal flashlight to attract your dinner. Pretty ingenious, if you ask me.
Hmm.
Okay, from the depths of the ocean to the forests of Australia, I want to hear about the lyrebird. I've heard they're incredible mimics.
Oh, they're amazing vocalists. They can imitate an astonishing range of sounds. Other bird calls, car alarms, chainsaws, even human speech.
Seriously. I've seen videos of them mimicking camera shutters and baby cries.
Hmm.
It's almost unbelievable. But why do they do it? Is it just for show?
It's probably for a few reasons. Attracting mates, defending their territory, confusing predators, maybe even luring prey. They've got a whole sound library they can use for all sorts of situations.
It's mind-blowing. Speaking of impressive displays, let's talk about the Wilson's Bird of Paradise.
The Wilson's Bird of Paradise is a perfect example of how powerful sexual selection can be. The males have these incredible blue caps and curly tail feathers, and they perform these elaborate dances to try and impress the females.
I've seen pictures of them, and they look incredible. So what kind of dances do they do?
They'll clear a small area on the forest floor and then put on a real show. They bob their heads, spread their wings, shake their tail feathers. It's quite a spectacle.
It's like a rainforest dance party. Okay, from the flamboyant world of birds of paradise, let's travel back in time to meet a creature that roams the earth millions of years ago, the Stegosaurus.
Ah, yes, the Stegosaurus. A truly iconic dinosaur.
Hold on, I thought we were talking about living creatures. Stegosaurus went extinct a long time ago.
True, but even extinct creatures can teach us valuable lessons about evolution and the history of life on our planet.
Okay, I see your point. It's easy to forget that our planet was once home to creatures that seem almost mythical to us today. So what makes the Stegosaurus so fascinating?
Well, there's that row of plates running down its back. For years, scientists debated what they were for. Now, we think they played a role in regulating the Stegosaurus's body temperature.
So those plates weren't just for show.
Not at all. They may have helped them absorb heat from the sun or release excess heat. And then there's that spiked tail. It was probably used for defense against predators.
It's amazing to picture these incredible creatures roaming the earth millions of years ago. It really puts things in perspective, doesn't it?
It certainly does. The Stegosaurus is a testament to the power of evolution and the incredible diversity of life that has existed on our planet.
Well, I'm ready for more. What other wonders of the animal kingdom do we have in store? Okay, I'm ready for more mind-blowing creatures.
Yeah.
Bring on the weird and wonderful.
Well, let's delve into the world of the giant cuttlefish.
Cuttlefish. Those are the ones that can change color like chameleons, right?
Exactly. They're masters of camouflage. But they also have some pretty bizarre mating rituals.
Oh, like what?
Well, the males will often try to outdo each other with these elaborate visual displays, flashing colors and patterns across their skin, kind of like an underwater light show, to try to attract the females.
So it's a dance-off, but with flashing lights. I like it.
Right. And sometimes, to get past the bigger, dominant males, some of the smaller males will actually disguise themselves as females. It's called sneaker mating.
Wow, that's sneaky. Yeah, pretty clever. Okay, from the colorful world of cuttlefish, let's head to the Arctic. I've always been fascinated by walruses. Those tusks are amazing. What are they used for?
They use them for all sorts of things. Hauling themselves out of the water, defense, foraging for food. They're really versatile.
I can imagine. And they're very social animals, right?
Yeah.
I've seen pictures of them huddled together in huge groups.
Yeah, they're very gregarious. They form these big herds on land or ice, sometimes hundreds or even thousands of individuals.
Wow, that must be quite a sight. Okay, from the icy Arctic, the rainforests of Southeast Asia, let's talk about the slow loris. They're so cute.
They are adorable, but did you know they're also venomous?
Wait, what? Venomous? Really?
Yeah. They have a gland near their elbow that produces a toxin.
So they're not like snakes. They don't inject the venom.
No, they actually mix the toxin with their saliva and lick it onto their fur. So if a predator tries to bite them, they get a nasty surprise.
It's amazing how nature works. Even the cutest creatures have ways of protecting themselves. So what else is interesting about slow lorises?
Well, they're incredibly slow-moving, hence the name. They spend the day sleeping and come out at night to forage, and they have huge eyes, which are perfect for seeing in the dark.
It's amazing how each animal is perfectly adapted to its lifestyle. Well, I think we've covered a pretty amazing array of creatures today, from the depths of the ocean to the rainforest canopy, and even back in time to the age of dinosaurs. It's been quite a journey.
It really has. From creatures with sonic blasts to masters of disguise to animals that can practically cheat death, The diversity of life on Earth is truly mind-boggling.
I know. And who knows what other incredible creatures are out there just waiting to be discovered.
Exactly. There's still so much to learn and explore about the natural world.
Well, that's all the time we have for today's deep dive. But the adventure doesn't end here. Keep exploring, keep asking questions, and keep that sense of wonder alive. Until next time, stay curious.